Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very, very, very well. Okay, I was iffy back and forth on whether I wanted to make a video like this, but ultimately there have been basically two main reasons that I want to sit down here and talk about it. Obviously, it has been a year since everything kicked off. It was last summer with Colleen Ballinger and Johnny and Cody and Josh and Swip and Becky and Oliver and Ella. I can't believe it's been a year. And I'm going to try my best to articulate as best possible my feelings right now. Number one, I'm aware that when I talk about this situation, I am immediately met with people saying, let it go, stop talking about it, get over it. And to you, I say, I agree. But I don't think it's fair that I'm seeing so many videos online right now, so many TikToks, so many tweets, so many whatever, so many Reddit posts of people talking about, a year has gone by, where are they at? Where are they feeling now? And I can't help but feel like it's a little bit irritating and a little bit annoying that I know that when I do this and when I talk about, where I'm at right now and how I feel a year on from, quite honestly, the craziest summer of my entire life, that I'll immediately be met with people being like, let it go, but everyone else can talk about it. I want to acknowledge that first and foremost. Number two, one of the two reasons that I want to talk about this is, like I said, there have been so many people revisiting this and talking about it a year on, and basically everything that we know now and how everything ended up turning out. And I just kind of want to talk, and I want to put something out there and kind of where I'm at and how I feel, because it is something that I do live with every single day, and it's something that I think about most days, because it was every single day, last summer, and it was crazy. It was all consuming, and it is very much so a big part of my life. And I know that people will always say, don't talk about it more on your YouTube channel because you're continuing to make your brand off of it. The more you talk about this, the more that's all people will know you for, right? And I have to say to people that will say that is, I don't care. I quite frankly don't care, because this is something that really, really, really affected me and is a big part of my life. And if someone is going to look at this and be like, oh, that's all he is, then that's fine. This is something that I talk to my family about, on the daily. I talk to my friends about on the daily. And without sounding cliche, majority, if not all of the people that are watching this video right now were also involved in it, because last summer I was posting so much because so much was happening. And there was this back and forth that was overwhelming for you, the audience member, and even more overwhelming for me as an individual, and even more overwhelming for every single person that was involved in it. So I basically just want to put all my thoughts out there on where I'm at. Now, the second of two reasons that I was like, fuck it, I will talk about this, was I've been sent so much, the Colleen Ballinger snark, we're talking about it, that in Colleen's, one of her recent videos, and hand on my heart, I am going to be completely frank with you, I don't cover her stuff the way people, sorry, I have fucking dog hair on me, I don't cover her stuff the way people maybe want me to anymore. I know that a lot of people on the subreddit and a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube and stuff will always tag me, even in my own community, being like, can you cover this to do with her? Whether it's to do with her podcast, whether it's to do with her vlog, whether it's to do whatever. If I'm being 100% frank with you, and I would not lie to you about this, I basically just tuned off from her. Last summer was so all-consuming that I needed to just turn off. So when I see her stuff pop up, even on TikTok, I'm scrolling past it. I follow a lot of pages that re-upload her stuff. I scroll past it. I get tagged in commentary videos about her. I scroll past it. It does not do any good for me to be involved in the narrative of her anymore. And I just want to be completely frank about that. But I did see, because it was sent to me so much, and I also, in the same retrospect, if people are sending me something enough, I will look into it, and that is what happened here. And it was so much that I even had people in my personal life sending it to me. I had a couple of my friends in Brighton. I had a couple of people back home. I had a couple family members as well on my cousin's side that had reached out to me, and we're talking about this video that she had posted where it's a 4th of July vlog, and at the end of the vlog, she talks about where she was at last 4th of July. And she shows a clip of her like lying in her bed, and she is like crying and saying that, you know, she needs to keep on going for her kids, but she feels her body dying, and she can't see herself going on anymore. And, you know, it's a really sad clip, and it's, you know, a scary clip to watch. And everyone was asking me my opinion of it, because obviously people were saying that that was the time period when we were all speaking out, and then this was how she was feeling. Now, number one, what sticks out in my mind is that 4th of July clip that she posted, which is, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but I also want to say that I do know this woman a lot more than what maybe you do, and there's a reason that she vlogged that. You know what I mean? It's a scary and sad clip, and it's sad to see anyone in that mental space, but it also is worth noting that she was feeling that way and decided to, you know, whip out the vlog camera and film it because she knew eventually she would post it. And this isn't the first time she's been in a situation where she's felt really bad and she has pulled out the camera to vlog it so that her audience know how she feels, and then she can make them feel a type of way. I just want to call a spade a spade. So the 4th of July last year, a year ago, was a crazy time in all of this. And I've been thinking about it a lot since I saw that clip. The 4th of July last year was when she had just posted the ukulele video. And obviously, by her own doing, that was her response. It was making fun of me. It was making fun of Becky. It was making fun of all of us, right? She chose to do that. And ultimately, that is what she is crying about in this clip, because that is when things kicked off to a whole nother degree, right? After the ukulele video. I do also just want to say that that video is still on her YouTube channel. Like, that is still a video in which she monetizes off, makes views on. It's actually I think her most viewed video on the channel she posted it on. Like, she's still standing by that video. So in this clip, when she's saying about she can't go on anymore, and again, a really sad clip to see anyone in this position, right? It's about the backlash of the ukulele video that she's still proud enough that is on her YouTube channel. And also a clip I was sent so much, and I just chose not to talk about it because I was like, it's not fucking worth my time. Like, it's not worth my time. In one of her vlogs, she was making a joke about it. She was making a joke about playing the ukulele. Like, so that was the time period that was that clip that she posted in the new one where she's crying, right, from a year ago. And so I also want to note that. So that gives me such mixed feelings. Now, one of the reasons I was really hesitant on making a video like this, but I have been talking with a lot of people about it behind the scenes, and I just would like to be transparent. Watching that video was really, really, really triggering. Obviously, it's sad to see anyone in that state. But without making this about myself, obviously I can only speak about my own experiences, and whether this is insensitive to say or not, all it reminded me of was when, for the years that she was trying to find dirt on me in group chats, trying to expose me, talking shit about me, getting YouTubers like James Charles with huge platforms to talk shit about me publicly, like bashing me off the internet. Like, when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, I saw myself in this clip of her where she's in the bed and crying about I don't know if I can go on, and this is all so much or whatever. And I'm like identifying myself in it in a really weird way, because I'm like, holy shit, for so many years, there's evidence of, you know, her trying to get evidence on me, trying to get my friends at the time to turn on me, getting all these people to talk shit about me, like blah, 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 right? And I was like, hold on. I felt like that. And I felt like that for many years because she was doing this to me for many years. So it completely changed my perception of watching this clip of her, and it made me angry. It really did make me angry, actually. It actually made me angry. And I was nervous to talk about this because I didn't want to be seen as insensitive by saying that it did make me angry, because that's making it about myself. And I can acknowledge that. But that's 100% transparent. That's how I'm feeling when I watch that clip. And I have a great family that she also was getting people to turn against, of course, you know, trying to turn everyone against my mom. And I had great friends behind me. But I did not have the support system or the access to therapy or the amount of money to go to therapy that she has. And I was a kid. I was in school when she was doing this to me. And quite like Becky and Oliver, who went through all this, we felt the exact same way she felt, but we had to go to fucking school in the morning. We had to, like, it really, like, brought back a lot of really bad emotions for me. Like, really bad. And I'm feeling myself getting, like, tense and, like, angry right now because it just made me think of for how long I was written off by people, even in my close, like, circle, because they thought I was a liar because of her. I lost friends. I like, my social media presence was absolutely tarnished until, unfortunately, Cody Tyler was the one who backed me up and proved that, you know, Colleen was, you know, plotting against me and endorsing Cody doing this. I felt that way. And what's even scarier to me is if Cody had not came out with that video, I would still be in the same fucking position. I was making YouTube videos for a very long time before this happened, and I was making YouTube videos throughout all the time when I had already spoken up and no one wanted to fucking listen. I was written off the internet, and I came back and I was getting ratioed with dislikes on every single fucking video. No one trusted me. No one wanted to work with me. No one wanted to, and I had to keep fucking posting. I had to keep whatever because I enjoyed doing YouTube, right? I enjoyed doing YouTube, and then whenever it became my job in 2020, 2021, which, by the way, was, you know, after the Colleen thing had happened. That's not how I got my job on YouTube, by the way. If we're going to be honest, the reason I have a job on YouTube is because of Shane Dawson. Because I made drama videos on Shane Dawson. So, my hat goes off to Shane Dawson, Taddy Westbrook, and Jeffree Star, because they were the reason that this ended up becoming my job. It wasn't her. If anything, that was the thing that fucking tarnished me. When I came into this commentary space, so many people that even, like, I'm good friends with now and have no problem with, they were talking shit about me publicly on their YouTube channel because I couldn't have been trusted. I'm sure I'm a liar. I'm a fucking liar. I'm a liar. I tried to ruin a woman's life. Like, that's Adam McIntyre. Many years. That was the perception of me online. And it was the perception of me even in my real life. Because she's a huge star. So everyone knew about it. And all my internet friends left me. Except for one. And I love her. So oh my God, I didn't think I was going to get it. And I'm not going to. I love her so much. I'm not going to mention her name. She is my one internet friend that stood through me through all of it. And we see each other often. We hang out. She not only stood by me and believed me, but she was there for it. I never once turned against me and defended me. And I will always be so fucking grateful for her. Even if it didn't turn everyone on my side of believing me, I knew I had at least one of my friends at the time that believed me. And I'll always be so grateful for her, and I love her, and I will do everything genuinely for the rest of my life to let her know how much I love her. I just love her so much. And so anyways, that clip really triggered me in a way that I haven't been triggered in a very long time. In a very long time. Because I'm watching this and I'm like, holy shit. This clip of her is the time period that I was in LA last year. So she had just posted the ukulele video and she had just hired Andrew Brettler. Whatever his fucking job title is in being a lawyer, that bullshit, like trying to get people out of scandals or whatever. She was doing all that as well. So, not only in this time period is she now in this clip saying how, bad things are going for her and she can't see herself going on, she was actively still scheming things against me. And scheming things against Becky and Oliver. And, like, genuinely, like, do you know how, like, irritating and frustrating that is to, like, witness how everything went down and then a year later kind of history is being rewritten? It really does bother me. It really bothers me. And that ukulele video is still up. Taking myself out of this equation, that ukulele video that specifically, it was so broad about me, but it was specific about Becky. And that's still to this day, the fact that that video is still on her YouTube channel, oof. Like, that is a different level of fucked up. That when we're all now, okay, we need to feel bad for her. And again, it's sad to see anyone in that position. But the fact that the thing that she was put in that position for, she still has on her YouTube channel and she's still monetizing off and making like views and money. Like, what? Last summer, for many reasons, was just so intense. When it started with the Cody Tyler thing, when Cody reached out to me and said that they were going to be making the video, and I went on that FaceTime call with Cody, and I listened to them, and I let them cry to me, rant to me. They want to speak their story about Colleen, blah, 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 blah. They make the video, and I'm in full support, pushing it out there, supporting them, uplifting their story, and warranted, if anything. Thank you, Cody, because even though you're a crazy bitch, without you, people wouldn't have believed me. And I will, as crazy as you are, and as deranged as you are, I will forever thank Cody for that. I will forever thank Cody for that. And it pisses me off that if Cody had not made that video, my reputation would still be the same. Still be the same. Do you know that whenever I moved to Brighton and I was 18 and I would be out at bars or clubs or whatever like that, there would be like people my age that would come up to me and ask me about the Colleen thing and be like, oh my God, you were the guy that lied about Colleen Ballinger. So I would still be living with that reputation if it wasn't for Cody Tyler. So ultimately everything that happened with Cody, womp womp. But without Cody, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Now, the way the Cody thing went was something that was really hard to deal with because I finally thought that I had found a friend who was going to defend me, and then it was actually a friend that was using me. So I'm now going through the Colleen thing being opened up again, which, by the way, I never started this again. It was Cody. It was Cody that started this, and people love to always say that I was the one that brought this up. That is not true. It was Cody Tyler, on their own will, made this video, brought everything up, new receipts, new proof, new everything. Cody did it. Cody did that. And it was talking about me and showed screenshots of things I'd never spoken about online that I was uncomfortable with being out there. So of course I addressed it. So for Cody then to pussy out after they get all the backlash for them being exposed, it left me in this place where it was like I was now pushed on stage by Cody. Cody came on stage with me, and then people start throwing tomatoes at Cody. So what does Cody do? Pushes me, runs backstage. Where's Cody? Nowhere to be seen. So now I look like a crazy bitch because this is all falling on my shoulders yet again. Warranted, people are starting to believe me this time, but Cody's nowhere to be seen. So this looks like my doing yet again. Here Adam goes by Colleen yet again. And another two people I will forever be just so grateful for is Becky and Oliver. They did not have to speak out. They did not have to speak out. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know if I could have done last summer without either of them. Now, we're not all BFF. We're not talking every day. We're not FaceTiming. We're not whatever. That is not the case whatsoever. And fuck Johnny, by the way. But them speaking out made me, and I don't think I've ever said this online, but made me feel so less alone and supported in this. And I cannot genuinely thank Becky and Oliver enough. And Oliver is so young. I think had just turned 18. I think he literally had just turned 18. And that's scary as fuck to speak out. Specifically when it had to do with the things that he was speaking out against. And then Becky is my age, and that's scary as well to speak out. Luckily, I don't go to college. Luckily, work for me is a very loose term, you know what I mean? These people were going to college, going to work, and their faces were trending on Twitter, or there were so many YouTube videos about them or news articles about them talking about them being groomed. And then they were having to go into college the next day, and I can only imagine what they had to deal with people asking questions, with people, I cannot genuinely fathom that. And the fact that they never backed down, when I don't even know if I would have been brave to do that, because when it happened in 2020, thank God it was during the pandemic and I didn't have to see people face to face and people were still turning on me. I couldn't have done that. And I think people underestimate how fucking brave both of those people are. Seriously. And again, I just want to say a huge thank you to both of them. So much. Johnny. Nowhere to be seen. Quite like Cody. Another example of a person who came out of the woodworks and I went on a call with. And Johnny completely twisted it and manipulated it. And I'm not even going to give him that much of a time. But actually, I'm not going to give him time at all. Fuck Johnny. Moving on. Someone else I want to give a huge thank you to. Actually, I have two people to give a huge thank you to. I have three. I want to give a huge, overwhelming thank you to my mom. Now, I don't want to be sappy and kiss-assy here. Of course, thank you to my mom, dad, my brothers, and my extended family who supported me. But throughout all of this, my mom was the one who was also getting shit. People trying to report her off Twitter, people harassing her in her DMs, people trying to dox her, people literally making fun of everything about her. And my mom never once stopped her very vocal support of me. And I'm so annoyed and embarrassed that I ever, as a son, had to put my mom in that position. And I think that's also what people don't realize about this. A main reason that this is very hard to talk about, as much as people love to say that we exploit it and we, just don't care about it and we can't stop making videos about it. What people don't realize is that it was my mom who was getting shit as well every day. And she was getting shit back in 2020 when Colleen started this against me, when Colleen would talk shit about her, and all the way up in this entire thing. And it got even worse last summer. And I just want to say a huge thank you to my mom publicly for just always standing by me. And I love her so much. I love her so much. And I'm going to move on because I don't want to. Anyway, I also want to give a thank you to Josh, David Evans. We had a very rocky relationship the years running up to that because I was always instructed to be against him. And I'm so grateful that he heard me out and he accepted my apology and he supported me. And in turn, I was able to support him. And I just want to say thank you to Josh for everything, because he didn't have to support me in this, because let me tell you something. I was brutal to him during those Colleen years. Brutal. And he knows that and I know that. And the fact he's still... If I was him, I would have never spoken my name. And the fact he did last summer, and he didn't even fake it, because he's still, to this day, is so lovely and so caring and so sweet to me. And I, moving on to the next thank you, Swip. Taking myself out of the equation, what Swip was able to do for Josh, like as an outsider and someone who was involved in it as well, that was everything that needed to happen. And I never thought it was going to happen. And I'm so glad that Josh was finally able to, after years and years of abuse and being ran off the internet and ran off everything, was able to speak. And Swip didn't have to do that. Swip also has continuously uplifted and supported me since last summer. That was not a fake, phony act for views. That was someone who genuinely deeply cared. Also, there were so many conversations with Swip I don't think people realize that didn't make it onto the episodes. It was genuinely Swip offering advice and comfort, and that's a real bitch. That's a real bitch. And I love her so much. Her and her team went through hell last summer. And I hope they don't mind me saying this, but they went through fucking hell last summer with interviewing Johnny, and then Johnny gets exposed, and then they're deep diving Johnny, and they find all this. Then they have to change, what they're talking about. And then they finish the episode, but then the episode now doesn't make any sense because Cody's been exposed, and they could have easily given up. The amount of time they put into that, Swip and her team, a very small team, by the way, to making sure that the story was correct, was factual, was properly... They didn't have to do that. And if I was them, I probably would have given up, because it got too complicated. The fact that they were persistent and they cared, and not only were they so stressed trying to reach deadlines and people were hounding them and being so rude to them, and we don't even care if you post the episode anymore because you said you were going to post it last fucking week. In that time period that they're rushing, making themselves sick, trying to edit all this and get this up for people, they were also reaching out to each of us individually, making sure that we were okay and heard, and if we need to talk or whatever, outside of the videos. And I hope people also know that, and if they didn't know it then, they know it now. The care that her and her team put into that was genuinely... This woman had to fucking interview Johnny for multiple hours, and ultimately, it all was just bullshit. She came into this and ultimately interviewed people who were lying to her face for hours, and she still didn't give up on the topic. And without Swip as well, so much of this would not have been possible and would not have happened, because the way that she was able to detail and fact check and everything was unlike anything I'm capable of. Anything I'm sure most of us are capable of. And so I truly want to say a huge thank you to Swip and her team for that. From the bottom of my heart. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Now, I'm so glad that this summer is different than last summer. It was intense, and it was genuinely awful. Like, I got fucking doxxed, for fuck's sake. I didn't even think I would get doxxed in my entire life by Colleen fans. I had to move apartments, and warranted, I was so just anxious and everything overwhelming that I ended up leaving Brighton. Now, warranted, I didn't need to do that. I could have just moved apartment, but I ended up moving city because I was so overwhelmed with my life that I was running from everything because it got too much. And ultimately, that was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I still have my Brighton apartment to this day. My rent ends in October. I had to pay for a year, and I was so miserable there. I had no friends there. All my friends were down here, but I just needed a change that I ended up moving back to Brighton like 3 months into my Manchester contract, and it was one of the most expensive, wrong decisions of my entire life because now I'm paying rent on 2 different places. Like, not only was there so much that we all went through online, but there were so many things that this trickled down into our personal lives that affected us. And I just want to clarify that when you see clips of Colleen Ballinger victimizing herself, just know that that doesn't go without every single person that has been involved that have been at the mercy of shit that she has done to them. It's crazy to look back on last year. There's a lot that I'm very grateful for. There's a lot that still I don't even want to talk about. There's just... It was a very intense couple months. And I'm so grateful for my friends, my family, people in the online space, my community who genuinely were there for me. That was when I was doing Twitch streams every single day. And the fact that people were there to listen, there to hang out. If I didn't want to talk about drama and I would play Minecraft or The Sims, people were still there to hang out. I want the muckers to know that I also very much so appreciate you. I really, really, really appreciate you. And I want to say a huge thank you to you for sticking by me, because it would have been very easy to get very irritated by me very quickly last summer with how many updates there were. I'm like, oh my God, Adam, give it a break. But it was something I was living with so daily, so intensely, that it was all consuming. So thank you for not giving up on what I'm pretty sure was probably very just irritating and repetitive to watch. So thank you for that. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. I feel like I've got most of my a year on thoughts. I do just want to say, again, another thank you to everyone I thanked. And Colleen may victimize herself now, and she may have actually been feeling that way in that moment. And if she did, and she still has that video up, and she still has all that up, I don't know what she's playing at. I don't know what she's playing at. I think it's evil. And just very weird and very strange. Alright. I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you're all doing well. And I will see you in my next one. It'll be a little bit more upbeat. But I did just want to talk about this. So I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.